Hi guys, Chapter 5 of The Magic and the Mummy by Terry Deary, illustrated by Helen Fluke, published by Picture Window Books. Chapter 5, The Magic Cat. As the eye of Horus sank in the sky, the desert grew dark with purple shadows. Neria trotted back home behind her father. "You did well," he said. "Thank you, father," she said. "The mummy you made from the cat Bastet was fine for a first try." "Thank you, father." "Very neat." They walked through the city gates. The guards saluted and closed the gates to shut out the jackals of the night. When they reached their home, Carew was waiting for them. His scowling face was streaked with mud and tears. Father ignored him. The boy cried out, "Father, Father, Neria stole my ball. She took it and she—" Carew stopped shouting. It's hard to shout when your big sister has her hand across your mouth. She dragged the boy down the hall and into her room. Carew struggled all the way. There was just enough light in her room to see the chest in the corner. She took her hand away from her brother's mouth. "Where's my ball?" he sobbed. Do you guys remember where the ball is? The ball is the head of the cat, the mummy cat. "I haven't got it." "Why not?" "I told you," she hissed. "I used magic to turn it into a cat." Carew stopped crying suddenly. "No, you didn't." "Yes, I did." "Where is it?" he demanded. "In that chest." He ran to the corner of the room and heaved up the lid. A dazed cat blinked up at him. "Ooh," Carew sighed. "A cat." "Your cat," Neria told him. Carew lifted the cat out carefully and clutched it in his short arms. "A magic cat," he said. Neria smiled. "A magic cat. Now, let's wash your face and go to dinner." He seems pretty happy with it. As the servants lit the lamps in the dining room, Carew walked in with a scrubbed and happy face. "Neria," he said. "Yes, Carew." "I think you stole my crocodile on wheels." So I would like you to magic me a bow, an arrow, a fishing boat, and a golden bowl for my cat." Neria smiled sweetly at her brother. "Carew, you have your cat. Ask me for anything else, and I will turn you into a mummy." "You can't do that," he squawked. "Oh, yes, I can. Father says I make a fine mummy, a neat mummy." Her teeth and eyes glinted in the lamplight. Carew looked up at her and was afraid. He swallowed hard, turned pale, and began to shake. "It's all right, Neria. You can keep my crocodile," he said. "I think that's best," she said softly. "Mummy knows best." That's the last chapter of The Magic and the Mummy. They have an afterword I'd like to read. An afterword is a part of a book that they write after the story. This is not part of the story, but it's information about it. As it says in the story, the house of death wasn't a house at all. It was a large tent where the mummy was made ready for its last journey, the journey into the afterlife. The afterlife was a lovely place to live if you were lucky enough and good enough to get there. It was away from the heat of the desert and the smell of death, away from the jackals that wanted to steal the king's flesh and the humans who wanted to steal his riches. The house of death was a holy place and a workplace. The priest in charge was a servant of the jackal god Anubis. So, of course, this one priest wore the jackal mask over his head. Anubis was the good god who looked over the mummies and guarded their tombs. His priest led the chanting of all the priests, and that was the sign for the start of mummy making. The king could not go along to the afterlife without his loyal pets. They had to be killed and turned into mummies too, so they could be buried with him. The priest of Anubis would be one of the most important men in the city. His house would be fine and his family would be rich. And that's it. That is, once again, The Magic and the Mummy. All right, guys, please go out, get some fresh air, some exercise, and then come in and read a good book.